Okay, so this is principle number 21 in our leadership series, and this is it's an in-betweener. It's kind of between it's the very last principle in the gaining cooperation principles, but it's also, it could almost go with the next set of principles, which we're going to talk about next week, which is how to build strong leaders around you. So this is the one that kind of separates the two. And it's basically, the principle is that you want to give people strength-centered compliments. Now, it's a very specific type of compliment that works really, really, really well. And in fact, a lot of people in today's world tend to want to avoid compliments altogether. The reason why is because we think of them as being hokey, or we think of them as being flattery. And that's really, if you're doing a really good strength-centered compliment, you won't ever fall into either of those kind of traps. Strength-centered compliments are really complimenting people on the strengths that they possess as a person. And if you can identify what somebody is really, really good at, and then point that thing out to the person, then that person is much likely to not only grow in that area, but their confidence will kind of spill over in other areas. This is really one of the secrets to the High Impact Leaders class that we've been teaching for years, and the Fearless Presentations class that we have had such a tremendous success with in helping people overcome public speaking fear, or really eliminate public speaking fear. Is basically what we do when somebody comes into our public speaking class, for instance, is we first have to kind of look at them and say, what is this person really good at? Everybody has their strength in front of a group, and if we can help identify what that strength is and help grow that strength, then basically the little things that we tend to not like about ourselves tend to kind of go by the wayside. So focusing on a person's strength really, really builds a confidence. So the technique that we kind of teach in the class that helps is, once you find out what that strength is, you kind of tell that person that you've noticed that strength in them, and then you use an instance where you've seen them show that strength. You basically use that as your evidence. So basically, the technique that I like to use a lot is, let's say for instance that I notice that somebody's really good at doing her report really well. So let's say we have a single report has to be done by Friday at 5 o'clock every single week, and one of the people that works for me is really good at hitting that, at least getting there by the 5 o'clock mark, and a lot of times she's really early. She gets it done earlier than most other people. So I could compliment her on her ability to meet that deadline. And that's good. She'll probably continue to hit the deadline, but she's already doing that. So basically what I would rather do is I would rather compliment her on the characteristic that allows her to hit that deadline so consistently. And not only will she continue to do that, but it might spill over into other areas as well, really grow her confidence in that area. So what I would say is, one of the strengths that I see in you, or one of the things I see that you're really good at, is that you have a fantastic work ethic. For instance, every week when I ask for the reports, yours is always done early, whereas most people's are either done right at the last minute or sometimes even late. I really appreciate that about you. So basically, by complimenting her on the strength, that strength is now something that she sees to grow her confidence. Basically, all you have to do is kind of look around at the people around you, and instead of criticizing them, if you find something that they're really good at, you find that strength, and compliment them on that strength, you'll start to see that strength show up in other areas over and over and over, and you'll see the confidence of your people really, really grow.